He's got Amari Cooper actually flourishing. And he's even got Elijah Moore out here balling. Elijah Moore was balling when Amari Cooper got hurt after his big game. So it's like the Browns might be one of the most complete teams in the AFC playoffs right now. So as much as I want to, bet on the rookie to do his thing, I gotta go with Flacco here. He's got the playoff experience. He's got the weapons. He's got the defense. He might go far in this conference. I'm gonna go with Browns here. I'm gonna say Browns 31, Texans 23.
All right. Next up, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at home in 0-degree weather going up against the Miami Dolphins. A Tyreek Hill.
Possibly -6 degrees.
Good Lord.
They got a low of -6.
Jesus.
With wind.
Good Lord. Yeah, Miami is not used to playing in those conditions. Of course, you can never count the cheetah out, but thing is, well, I think he's the only one used to playing this weather because he played for Kansas City for quite some time. But Tua, man, I don't know if y'all have ever held a football in cold weather and threw one, but that shit feels like a damn rock. Man. And the thing is, this also comes down, in cold January games, it's all about the running game. It's all about trench warfare. And the thing is, how do they have Raheem Mostert back? I think
questionable.
Yeah, but they got, and the thing is, the Chiefs got a 1-2 punch with Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that's going to be a little bit, that's going to be hard for them for that run defense to overcome. But this can also turn into a game where you live by Patrick Mahomes, you die by Patrick Mahomes, because he's been making a whole bunch of mistakes this season. But and don't get me wrong, because I think he can outgun Tua. Most people think he can outgun Tua. Come on, he's got Pacheco, he's got Travis Kelce. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's got Travis Kelce. But thing is,
you meant Travis Swift. He's under 1,000 yards this season.
Yeah,
he doesn't get his name anymore because he hung out with that damn girl.
Hell yeah, ridiculous. But yeah, all jokes aside, as long as Kansas City can hold on to the ball, they'll be fine. And as long as they don't make any dumb mistakes, the thing is, I think that if they play mistake-free football, they'll be fine. But if they do, don't be surprised if they can't capitalize off that, because if you look at Miami's defense, it's nothing to sneeze at either. This is going to be a very, very close game. A lot of people say, well, it should be a blowout because Miami's just not playing in those conditions. But I think it's going to be a very slow, grinding game at first. But go ahead and give me the Chiefs in this game, 31-27 over the Dolphins. Megaton, who you got? Chiefs, Dolphins.
Yeah, it's so first of all, back to that brick comment about throwing the ball and it feels like a brick.
Yeah.
Catching the ball. Mm-hmm. I played wide receiver in Chicago before. Yeah. I played in the winter. Catching the ball ain't easy. Yeah. And they can't catch anyway in Kansas City. Yeah. Nobody can catch the ball. Kadarius Toney can't catch the ball. MVS can't catch the ball. None of them are consistent already. Mm-hmm. So that's not going to help them that much. I don't think they get the weather advantage there. Kelce coming back now. Hopefully, he's healthy. But he's kind of been gimpy half the season anyway and unfocused. They took away Mahomes' weapons, man. This game, I think, is going to be ugly. I don't think it's going to be fun for anybody. Mm-hmm. Raheem Mostert, for all that said, I don't think Achane gets it off as much this game, because he went to Texas A&M and he's in Florida. Yeah. At least Mostert went to Purdue. He used to the cold. He's played in this before. So, you got a little bit of flavor there. Tariq is I think he'll figure out a way to work around it. He's played in this weather. He played in Kansas City for a ton of years. This ain't his first rodeo in cold weather. So I trust him. I don't trust Waddle, and I don't trust Tua. So all that being said, give me Kansas City in this one. And I think it's it's going to be interesting to watch how many drop passes there are.
Yeah.
I'm putting the over-under for drop passes in this game combined by both teams at roughly around like 12.
Yeah.
So that's my thought right there. And if that's going to say anything about it, the one who's more pass-reliant to me, honestly, is the Dolphins. And I think the Dolphins are going to run into problems trying to have that high-scoring offense in this cold-ass weather. So go ahead and let me get those Kansas City boys over there 17 to like... Nah, that may be a little too low.
Yeah.
Let's go 20 to 17.
All right. Wise, Chiefs, Dolphins. Who you got?
Yeah, I'll make it short and simple. I don't think the way the Dolphins have looked towards the second half of the season is the far cry from how they looked at the start of the season. I think Tua is questionable in terms of just his competency and in terms of being able to lead a solid offense. I'm not sure if Mike McDaniel can do enough a scheme design or anything to kind of mask some of the problems that Tua has. I just, with Waddle being potentially questionable, I mean, Tyreek's questionable, but it probably will be a go for sure. But Waddle injured himself a few weeks back. I don't trust the Miami team, warm weather team, going into that kind of cold ass environment there in Arrowhead Stadium. Again, this is, even though Kansas City has not looked great at all this season, they're a far cry from the team that won the Super Bowl. I think that this team is still good enough. Mahomes is still, again, he can still pull magic out.
Mm-hmm.
At least against this Miami team, I believe. I don't think the Kansas City will make it to the Super Bowl this year, but I think they're good enough to get a first round win against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Kansas City to win this game. I think it's going to be low scoring as well. Like Megaton said, give me 23 to 14.
All right. Flip. Dolphins, Chiefs. Who you got?
Dolphins, Chiefs. I might have to go with. In my head, I feel like going with the Dolphins.
I was about to say, fellas, listen. I was about to say, we all know Wildcard Weekend is good for at least one upset, and I got potentially two.
This might be the one.
I'm gonna get to my upset of the week. I'm gonna give my possible upset, but anyway, continue. Flip.
I was gonna say, if we're going with on paper, I got the Dolphins, but for some reason, the Dolphins, I just feel like they're about to screw this up. Like they should smoke this Chiefs team.
Wow!
But for some reason, I think it might be playoff experience here.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to go with the Dolphins here. I got the Dolphins and Chiefs. I might have to go with the Chiefs here. As much as I don't want to, it might be Chiefs season as always.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Mahomes is just going to pull something off. Travis Kelce might have had enough time to heal up. They do have Nicole Hardman back. Rashee Rice has been kind of stepping it up. And then still got Pacheco. And in these playoff games, I feel like the running game is more important. Yeah. So I don't think that it's going to hurt the Chiefs too much that they have such a weak passing game. If they can at least get the one up on them early on, and I think that's what they'll do. I think this is a Chiefs game where we're going to see them scheme the hell out of the Dolphins, trick plays, and just pull this off. Be up maybe like 14 points at half, and then hold on to the lead. So I'm going to say 27-23 over the Dolphins.
All right.
And I just want y'all to know tickets are only as low as $66 for this game.
Wow.
Which means I think the people in Kansas City are like, we going to win, and I'm not sitting in the cold for this shit. So if that's going to tell you anything, that'll tell you that right there.
For sure. All right. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills are currently favored by 10 points over the Steelers. Now, the Bills have looked shaky most of the year, but it looks like that Josh Allen has pulled the Undertaker and just rose from the damn dead. Don't get me wrong, he's still got a couple little flaws and kinks here and there, but the thing is, you never want to give him time in the pocket. And I think that's going to be the biggest obstacle that the Steelers are going to overcome, because guess what? TJ Watt's not playing. That's their number one pass rusher. That's the one guy that could have actually contained or even stopped Josh Allen. I mean, the thing is, they still got somewhat of a running game to rely on. But I think that the Steelers, with their 1-2 punch, probably have a better running game. I think that might be I think that kind of might be the equalizer. It might be the passing game going up against the run game. But the thing is, Josh Allen is miles better than Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett at this point in his career. He's, leagues ahead of them. The Steelers' only chance is to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands as much as possible. I mean, the thing is, George Pickens, he's, if you get him in one-on-one coverage, he's damn near unstoppable. He does not drop passes, and he can get those contested jump balls. But is the Bills' defense going to get to Mason right before he can throw the ball off? And are they going to rely on the running game? Because it's going to be cold up there in Buffalo as well. It's going to be like one of those 30-degree, 20-degree kind of games in Buffalo. And the thing is, in Pittsburgh, because I've been to Pittsburgh several times, the weather's not that much different. So this is going to be I think it's going to be close in the first quarter or the first half, and then Buffalo might possibly run away with it. So go on ahead and give me the Buffalo Bills 31-21 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Megaton, who you got? Bills, Steelers.
All right. I'm with you on the weather, and it's also possibly snowing. 20 degrees, 30-something degree wind gusts. Mm-hmm. So that passing, that newly found confidence that Mason Rudolph has,
it's not gonna work.
I'm not sure how that holds up in that kind of condition. But that being said, you said a lot about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's stats are actually down since they made the offensive coordinator switch. Now they've been running a lot, but his completion percentage is down now, and his passing yards per game are down. He's throwing slightly more interceptions per game. I don't know, man. I got a sneaky suspicion that your Pittsburgh Steelers like that 10 spread might be a little too high. Mm-hmm. I think they cover that easy. Mm-hmm. And I just, TJ Watt is one thing, but your defense is pretty solid. Yeah. So I think y'all can still get it done without TJ Watt being there and putting that pass rush on too. Mm-hmm. I think you can force them into some bad decisions. Like Justin Allen Justin's one of those people, man. Any given time, any given Sunday, he's good for an interception or two.
Yeah, and we got JPJ and we got Patrick Peterson in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to get a couple takeaways out of them, especially with the weather. Once that wind starts blowing, that ball starts drifting, you never know. I think it should be Buffalo easy, but honestly, if something gives me pause, man, I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers have a bigger puncher's chance than anybody thinks right now in this game, especially in the cold weather. They have nothing to lose. Buffalo has all the pressure on them. They have to do something this season or else they're going to end up blowing that team up a little more too. So, I think you lose Stephen Diggs if you go out in the first round. So that's going to be ugly. Let's go. This is a fun one, man. I'm going to take Pittsburgh, and let's make this 19-17.
Wow. Okay. All right, I see.
Pittsburgh.
All right, you got to be in a slow, grindy game, and I think it is the best chance they got.
You got to be in a very ugly game in the cold and the wet conditions.
So basically, you're saying that the key to victory is they're going to have to make it a ground game and not try to get into a gunfight with Josh Allen.
No, and I think Najee and Warren, that's a good 1-2 punch back there. I think you guys can get that off. And I don't think Buffalo does that good against the run, personally. If you can limit Mason Rudolph to not having to throw deep passes, you'll probably be all right, man. So if you can get in those consistent third and shorts, which I think you can with the run game you got, I don't know, man. I kind of like it. I kind of like Pittsburgh, and I might be, has been on this one. This is a reach for me. I wanted to go Buffalo, but I'm going to go Pittsburgh in this, 19-17.
All righty. All right, Waz, who you got? Steelers, Bills.
Yeah, I see where Megaton's coming from with this. I think this is potentially a potential upset game. Buffalo could Buffalo has been in positions where they've screwed up games before. I just, I don't trust Pittsburgh without TJ Watt. they're just obviously, I think their record shows they're just a quite different team.
Yes.
With him in the lineup and without the lineup. And I'm a little bit like I can't fully back or get behind the quarterback situation there at Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph leading the helm. It's just. Even though he's been performing better than Trubisky and Pickett have so far this season, but it's potentially it's kind of mind-boggling that that Tomlin didn't go to Mason Rudolph sooner instead of staying with either of the other two quarterbacks throughout the season. But regardless, I think even with their run game that Pittsburgh has, I think Buffalo could do the same with James Cook. I think the fact that they have that option with obviously, Allen and his legs and his mobility, I think Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game. I think it will be close. I think the spread's a little bit too high. It's also the upset, but I trust Josh Allen in the spot at home against this Pittsburgh team. Give me Buffalo to win this. I'll say 24-17.
All right, Flint, Steelers, Bills. Who you got?
Steelers, Bills. Let's see. Man, is this a Josh Allen effect where he settles and he throws like 2 turnovers and fumbles the ball or does something goofy? It might be that game. There's no TJ Watt though, so I'm a little bit more concerned about the Steelers defense holding up to what we expected to be. TJ Watt is definitely the driving force of that defense, so him not being out there is a little concerning for me. So with him not playing, I'm more inclined to focus on the Bills here because even with the Bills throwing all those turnovers, we even saw it against the Dolphins. They were able to still, come back and lead the game and hold the lead and beat the Dolphins. So I'm not a big fan of the Steelers offense. Man, I think without TJ Watt on that field, I'm less of a believer. But I mean, it is a running game. I don't like James Cook and Fournette on the ground. I just think that Josh Allen is going to run it himself. And we saw him against the Dolphins. He was, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15? Yeah. He said, I'm a grown man. I'm going to do it myself. he just got that first down at the end of the game, basically.
That's still potentially dangerous against Highsmith and them. Highsmith and Nick Herbig. That's dangerous even against them.
Yeah, it is. But that's a big boy. That's, 230 pounds quarterback?
Yeah.
I mean, he can truck the best of them. So.
Oh, yeah.
I think he can also fumble with the best of them too, though. When he gets in that mode,
that's why
he got 20 fumbles. He's got 20 fumbles in the past 2 years.
Yeah. 20. And don't the Steelers have the most
22 turnovers this year?
Yeah, and I think
22 turnovers this year.
And it don't matter because somehow they still win games. And against this team, against Mason Rudolph and the Steelers, if it was like a Joe Flacco situation, it's a little bit different. It's Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not betting on Mason Rudolph to lead the Steelers to the playoffs if TJ Watt's not on the other side of that field. So I'm not surprised if the Bills lose this game because, like Megaton said, Josh Allen is a turnover machine. But I think even with all the turnovers, the Steelers' issue is that they're just not a strong offense right now like the Browns. Like, that was my thing. When we first were going through the season, I was saying the Steelers and the Browns, same team, good defenses, but the offense is a little poor. You can't really rely on them. Now they got Flacco. If y'all had gone and got Flacco, y'all might be in the Brown situation.
Maybe.
So I'm gonna lean towards the Bills in this. I'm gonna say it's still close, but I'm gonna say Bills 24, Steelers 21.
All right. Next up, you got the Dallas Cowboys at home against the Green Bay Packers. Now, a lot of people question the Packers' legitimacy, and normally the Packers and the 49ers are the Cowboys' kryptonite in the playoffs. History has shown this, but thank the lucky stars that they ain't going up against Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs this year. But yeah, the thing is, they got the Cowboys have a lot of offensive firepower. I mean, they got one of the best receiving corps in the league. And the thing is, CeeDee Lamb, if he breaks off for 10 or 15 yards, that boy is gone. You know, you never want to get him. You never want to give him any space. And the thing is, I don't think at this point the Green Bay Packers have the secondary to contain him. And now, as far as the Packers' offense, now, I think that can Jordan Love get the job done against the Packers? I mean, against the Cowboys' defense. Now, I think Dak possibly wins in a shootout, but the thing is, this one is going to be a matter of who makes the most mistakes and who's able to capitalize off of those more. And like I said, a lot of people question like whether the Packers deserve to be here or not. I mean, if you made the playoffs, hey, kudos to you, regardless of how you got there. But I feel now. Here's the thing: a Packers loss. A Cowboys loss really wouldn't surprise me considering the history of these teams. But I just think that the Cowboys are actually the safe pick. And also, they got that curse of being one and done in the playoffs. Like, okay, the Cowboys, they're world beaters, or they do good enough just to get in the playoffs, and they're one and done in the wild card round. Does that curse still follow them? That remains to be seen. I mean, well, they broke the curse last year, but still, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Me personally, give me the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to say 27-20 over the Packers. Megaton, Packers Cowboys, who you got? And it's in Jerry World.
Oh, ain't this the battle of teams? Like, this is who I hate less at this point. I want both of these teams to lose. I wish that was possible. I wish they could tie and then knock themselves out. No. If that was possible, that would be what I would love. But I know that's impossible. So, my Packers hatred supersedes anything else in the NFL. So, give me Dallas in this one. As much as I hate to bet on them, I think Dak can do it. I don't like the Packers. I didn't think the Packers were that good. They weren't that good against us. We just sucked that game. Mm-hmm. So, Like, I can't really say that their offense was really firing, man. Like, Jordan Love amazingly ended up, like, second in the league in touchdowns, which is weird. But it was done in such a fluky fashion. I can't say I believe in it either. Yeah. And I just don't trust the Packers defense, man. Like, we were passing on them decently. If we called decent plays, we would beat them. But we just had Luke Getsy being a jackass. I think he knew he was getting fired, and so he let the Packers win because he just wanted to give a final fuck you to Chicago. Yeah, pretty much. So that's all I'm gonna say on that one. Give me Dallas in this one and make it pretty easy for them. I think it's Dallas like 28-17.
All right. All right, Wise, Packers Cowboys, who you got?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout for Dallas.
Wow, really?
I think Dallas takes care of business. Dallas, again, San Francisco has been Dallas' kryptonite in the playoffs the last few years. Mm-hmm. So they're avoiding the first round exit by not having to play us. But I think they can take care of Green Bay at home. Dallas has yet to lose so far this season at home. Green Bay has been kind of up and down. Very, 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 very consistent. Love did have a solid season, as Megaton alluded to. Again, 32 touchdowns, but and they have athletic receivers, but I think Dallas' defense can contain them certainly. Micah Parsons is gonna wreak some havoc there on Love. I don't know if the run game for Green Bay was a little bit more stout, and they could manage time of possession and try to make this a low scoring, grinded out game. I think they have a chance, because I don't think Dallas can kind of play in that kind of game. I think Dallas needs to basically be kind of in a shootout kind of gunning game. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Green Bay is quite there to turn that game into that. So I think Dallas wins this pretty handily. I think this is one of the fewer games that's going to be kind of done by halftime. Give me Dallas to win this 31-17.
All right. Flip. Cowboys, Packers. Who you got?
I got Cowboys, Packers. Can we trust Jordan Love in the playoffs of all places? I don't know. No, I can't. I can't trust him, man. As much as I want the Cowboys to lose, I mean, I just can't trust it. I gotta go with the Cowboys here. I think this is probably the easiest playoff to choose out of all of them, to be honest. Jordan Love, I think he needs a little bit more experience, but the only thing that's killing me here is the Cowboys' run game, but their passing game is just it's just gonna carry him. CeeDee Lamb is unstoppable. Brandon Cook gonna make a big play. Tony Pollard, I mean, he's gonna stink it up, but it doesn't even really matter if we really think about it. It's not like Jordan Love is. I mean, he could carve them up. We've seen him carve up teams. Yeah. But for some reason, I just don't have any faith in him right now. Yeah, I gotta go with the Cowboys in this one. I think this is probably gonna be the easiest one for me to choose. I'm taking Cowboys in this. I'll say 34-27 over the Packers.
Alrighty. Next up, we got the LA Rams going on the road against the Detroit Lions. Now, Detroit's favored by 3 points. Now, you guys can call me crazy, but I think this is probably going to be the game of the week for Wildcard weekend. Don't be surprised if this is game of the week, because how ironic is it that Matthew Stafford is coming back to the Lions, is coming back, to face the Lions, and Jared Goff is coming back to face the Rams. How ironic is it? The thing is, you can't make this up. Now I understand why a lot of people say that the NFL is scripted. But yeah, man. Here's the record, rightfully so. It's just that, how far is Jared Goff going to take this Lions team into playoffs? And me personally, I trust a Rams team led by Matt Stafford more than I trust a Lions team led by Jared Goff. I mean, the thing is also, you got Puka Nacua going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, as far as the receiving core goes. And the thing is, it's about who has the more efficient weapons. And I think that I actually said that the Rams were, going to make the playoffs this year. I figured they'd be in the 6th or 7th seed, but now I think that it really might be a shootout between the two. And you guys might think that I'm crazy for this, but I'm actually calling this as my upset for the week. Give me the Rams over the Lions in a barn burner, 33-31. Yep, that's my final score prediction. Like I said, everybody got to have at least one upset, and that's mine. But anyway, Megaton, who you got? Rams, Lions.
Yeah, the storyline already does make it kind of game of the week material already. And the ticket price right now in Detroit, the lowest ticket is $396 right now. So $400 for a playoff game. They must know something I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a very amusing game, number one. Number two, I'm going to go this way, right? Detroit, in their history, can't lose this game. If you look at what they've been through as a franchise, even when they made the playoffs and they had Barry Sanders, they didn't go far. They've been through enough. They've been abused since. I mean, they ain't won a championship since I want to say the 60s, maybe. So let's really dissect Detroit and the futility that is represented by everything in that city right now. I already told y'all, man, they sold the Pistons so that the Lions could be good this year, because the Pistons is horrible. Detroit needs some love, man. And if Matt Stafford comes back. First of all, they traded him. He won the Super Bowl. You got rid of him, he won the Super Bowl right after that. Directly after that. Then you took Jared Goff, dude, over there, and he finally got your momentum back. He got your motor running, so you got to be okay, we've been on the right horse right now. Right. So, you got one on the way up, one on the way out. It would surprise me if Matthew Stafford plays more than 2-3 more years, tops. So, let's go. I got to say Detroit. If not now, then when? They got a running game. They got St. Brown, who you can't stop in the slot. They got a lot of weapons. I mean, you got Puka, but Cooper Kupp ain't looked as good as he's looked in previous years. This year, I know he was injured for a little bit, but he's just not looking the same. I don't know that, the running game over there, they've been doing great.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you can bank on the running game against this Detroit front. The Detroit front on defense is pretty tough. And even they down 4, they got a good pass rush too. I think this is Detroit's year, man. You gotta if not now, then win, man. Yeah. You gotta get a win in the playoffs, and it's gotta happen now against a weaker Rams team that is coming to Detroit. So give me Detroit in this one, but I do think it's gonna be a hell of a show.
Yes.
So let's go. Give me somewhere around 27-24. Detroit wins.
All right. Waz, Lions, Rams. Who you got?
Yeah, I think this is gonna. I agree with you, Dred. I think this is potential upset here. The only upset I might be calling so far, because of a couple of factors. I think I like the coach. I like McVay over Campbell. I like the offense for Los Angeles versus Detroit. I like Stafford over Goff. There's a lot of factors are involved. I think the fact that this is going to be in the dome is again ideal for that. For that Rams offense. They have 2 receivers there that always seem to get open there. And Detroit, they're down Laporta. I think it's just going to be it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, especially with the emotions and Stafford coming back and potentially going to show up Detroit. It's going to be very kind of poetic for Stafford to send Detroit home. Yeah. In their first playoff appearance in a long time. But yeah, I think McVay, with the advantage of having coached Goff early on, I think he's aware of all the deficiencies that Goff has as a quarterback, and he can prepare his team defense to exploit that. I think a lot of the advantage goes with Los Angeles in this. I think this is going to be an upset here. Give me Los Angeles to win this game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Let's say Los Angeles wins this 28-25.
All righty. All right, Flip. Rams, Lions. Who you got?
I got the Rams.
Okay.
I think Jared Goff is. It's a revenge game for both of them, to be honest. It's a revenge game for the Rams and Lions here, if we're being completely honest. But man, do I trust the Rams in this? This is a toss-up.
Yeah, it is.
Both teams have pretty good run games. Both teams have good passing games. It's a matter of, do you trust the guy who's more of a passer, but very turnover prone, or do you trust the game manager who's not as turnover prone, but he probably could be just as turnover prone as Stafford? I think I just got to go with the defense here. I think I trust the Rams defense. The last few weeks they've been balling. I prefer the Rams defense over the Lions defense right now. And also it might be McVay's last year, so I feel like he's trying to coach them out with a bang. Man, because what's his name? What's the Lions coach name? I forget his name. Brian dude.
Damn it.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. He made some questionable decisions.
Oh my God!
He's very aggressive, and he makes some real goofy decisions.
You can't do that against He can't pull a Cowboys game against them. No, especially in the playoffs. He can't pull that same bull crap.
Yeah, and stuff like that. It kind of throws me off on picking the Lions here. I think McVay has the experience. He's won the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's battle tested. I gotta go with the Rams here. I think overall I like them better than the Lions. Give me the Rams in this. I'm gonna say 33-30 over Detroit.
Alrighty.
I just still think Aiden Hutchinson could cause havoc to Matt Stafford.
He could.
Yeah, he could.
I think between him and McNeil, they can get on his ass, and it could be a long day for that offense.
But we could also say that about Aaron Donald. He does.
Oh, Aaron Donald
is always a game
regular season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they both got game records on both sides. It's a matter of who can outcoach who. And I think that when it comes down to that, we might have to go with McVay here.
Yeah, I would.
Or at least I will.
I don't think he's the best coach, man. I think y'all are giving him a lot more than he's due. Dan Campbell's been aggressive,
yeah,
but I'm not giving him that much credit, man. McVay's been on bullshit recently. That's why he's about to be out the door.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, ever since that Super Bowl run, what has he done?
True.
What has he done?
True.
True.
But a lot of people wrote, but you got to also give him credit because a lot of people wrote the Rams off as a playoff contender, period.
Fair. I'm just saying I don't trust him.
I mean, the thing is, Puka came out and kind of saved the team. But then we got Kyron Williams coming out to save the team.
Yeah, Kyron Williams too.
Yeah. They got two good receivers and a really good running back.
Mm-hmm.
If we truly think about it, since that Super Bowl run, this might be McVay's best offense that he's had. He has his running back, and he has his guys. He has his. I mean, to be fair, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, because Cooper hasn't been the greatest, but he also has Cooper Kupp on his team still. And he has
this is the worst defense he's had. I think this is the worst defense he's had.
Yeah, because when he had Jalen Ramsey,
been a defensive-minded coach. I feel like it's always been his offense that's been making the big plays here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's had some studs on defense in the past with like Ramsey and obviously
like Jalen Ramsey and
Yeah, I don't trust his secondary. I don't trust his secondary at all.
Yeah, I don't trust either secondary, to be honest.
I mean,
true.
Your defensive front, you solid up there, man. You got, Kobe Turner and Aaron Donald in the middle, wrecking things. Like those two are problematic. But other than that, you can pretty much handle it.
But see, here's the thing: is I like Matt Stafford's chances in a shootout better than Jared Goff. I mean, if you ask me who wins a shootout, it's definitely Matt Stafford 9 times out of 10.
I've seen them. They put up some points this year.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Detroit putting up points this year.
They never.
30 a few times.
Yeah.
So don't put it past them that they can't put up points.
I can't do that. But if you ask me who I would trust in the last 2 minutes of the game with the ball in their hands, I would trust Matt Stafford and his Rams.
Why would you ever trust Matt Stafford in the last
2 minutes,
fourth quarter of a football game ever? Like for real. Yeah. Other than when he won the Super Bowl that year. Like he's been a habitual turnover machine and choker. But against
his Rams secondary, but he can like that
in the Super Bowl since 2016 and that was with Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
And what did they do there when he had Megatron and he had all of the monsters? Nothing.
But he can light that Rams.
Nothing.
Listen, he can light that Rams secondary up though. He can light that. He can light up the Rams secondary. I mean, he can light that Lions secondary up though.
I have seen the Lions play. I lived in Detroit for 2.5 years. I'm from Chicago. I've seen the Lions play. I've seen Matt Stafford play more than anybody else on this phone. I saw him play at the University of Georgia. I've seen this man for many years, and nothing says I should trust him more than I trust Jared Goff. Nothing.
All right.
So, yeah, there you go. That's my expert analysis.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can trust either quarterback. I feel like the only thing is it's all opinion. It's like, do you feel like McVay is the better coach here? Do you feel like Campbell's the better coach? You can't trust the quarterbacks. They're both turnover prone. They both have been, able to throw games. I think the receiving games are pretty even. Running games, you got to give it to the Lions here. They got a two-headed monster. Kyron's a workhorse, but I mean, you can't compare him to Montgomery and what Gibbs have been doing.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I feel like it's a toss-up. I think you can go either way here. I think it comes down to who makes the better second half adjustments.
Right.
So we're gonna see, but my money is on McVay and them just because experience. I think he has more playoff experience than Campbell, so I got to go with him. I think he's been in this moment more than Campbell, and we've seen Campbell kind of make a little bit of iffy play calls in crunch time. So I'm going to go with the Rams here.
All right, and last but not least, you got the Tank Division champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, versus the free-falling Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my God. You got the best of the worst going up against the worst of the best. And now, here's the thing. A lot of people say that the Bucks don't even really belong here, and the only reason why they got the spot is because, hey, somebody from that division had to win, and I thought for sure that it was going to be the Saints, but hey, they needed some help, but they didn't get that. And the Eagles, a lot of people are saying that the Eagles are pretty much a repackaged version of the 2020 Steelers, where they start the season 11-0, they just have a complete drop off, and they get exposed and haven't really recovered since. But man, Baker Mayfield in the playoffs is new to me, and I don't care how bad Jalen Hurts.
It's new to him too.
I mean, yeah, it's new to Jalen. Yeah, it's new to Jalen Hurts too.
He's been in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
He's never won a playoff game, has he?
No. Wait.
Oh, I gotta check.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's never won a playoff game. He went like once in Cleveland by accident, right?
He went in Cleveland, but I gotta check if he won the game or not. Give me a second.
Yeah, but regardless,
Keep going.
Yeah, but regardless, I mean,
fact check me, Rose. Fact check me, Roz.
But yeah, I actually trust Do I trust a crappy Jalen Hurts over a average Baker Mayfield? But the thing is, I would say Baker Mayfield is slightly above average. I mean, I'll give him some credit. I mean, he's worked with what he had. I mean, the thing is, you gotta wonder who can stop. All right, here's the thing: whoever in that secondary is, they gonna have to double team Mike Evans, because Mike Evans can light your ass up. And the thing is, the running game is pretty decent as well. But this team is only going to go as far as Baker Mayfield can carry them. And I think that this might be and the thing is, this game is going to be close. It's going to be closer than a lot of people would originally think it would, and it's going to be closer than it should, in my opinion. But then again, maybe not with the way that the Eagles have been playing lately. It's going to be close. Give me the Eagles 26-24 over the Bucks. All right, Megaton, who you got? Bucks, Eagles.
So I still think there's an argument that can be made. As much as I just hated on the man right there, Baker Mayfield threw for over 4,000 yards. Mm-hmm. I think you can make an argument he might deserve a comeback player of the year for getting the team into the playoffs, even though they're shit.
Maybe.
And they snuck in by the skin of their teeth. Mm-hmm. You can make the argument. I know people want to give it to Flacco, but I don't think Flacco played enough games for you to fairly give it to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at the entire season, I like it. I also said, boy from Hamlin couldn't get it anyway because he died. You know what I mean? What's a bigger comeback than you died on the field and you came back and played again, man? You like touchdown Jesus now. Yeah. So you got to I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield, you're going to lose to that. Mm-hmm. But you can make a legitimate argument for that. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I like Rashad White. I think he's underrated and sneaky good. You know what I mean? Like from a running back standpoint, and he puts up yards from scrimmage. He got like over 1,400 yards from scrimmage, I think, this year, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So, solid there. At any given time, like we said, Mike Evans could go off. So if you try to double team him, that's cool. But you got Chris Godwin on the other side who has 1,000 yards receiving this year too. He just doesn't have touchdowns. He ain't the threat in the red zone that Evans is, because Evans is huge and he plays tight end. I mean, he basically plays power forward. Yeah. You just throw the ball up to him. He's like Jimmy Graham used to be in New Orleans. Like, you just throw the ball up to him in the end zone, he's gonna get it. So, it could be really interesting on that end. But I don't trust their defense this year as much. Their defense was doing all right at the beginning of the year, and then they kind of fell off a cliff. Vontae David looks like he lost a little bit of a step, even though he's putting up tackles, he's putting up the numbers, but looks like he lost a little bit of a step there. Winfield Jr. is solid in the secondary, but I don't know who else out there is going to do anything, to be real. So as bad as Philly has looked, it'll be good for them to get away from Philadelphia for this game. And if they can get a win here, then they can at least capture some momentum back in the city, and the city won't hate on them as much. Yeah. So I think, as much as I don't want to go with Philly, I think I gotta go with Philly, man. If they lose to the Bucks, man, like that's shameful. You gotta,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Somebody getting fired if you lose to the Bucks. I know Hurts ain't fully healthy, but there's no excuse, man. You know what I'm saying? Like no excuse. I think we got the only question is Smitty playing or is he injured?
I think he is. I think he's a game time decision, but I think he's gonna play.
Okay, because that's the only thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have Smitty on one side and then you got AJ on the other side, that'll balance that out. If not, then that gives me a pause for them. But I think even, Jalen on half a gimpy leg is still better than Baker Mayfield on his best day. So, yeah, give me Philly in this one to regain some city pride out there.
Right.
But I do think it'll be kind of close. So, give me like 26 to like 23.
All right. Wise, who you got? Bucks, Eagles.
Yeah, just to clarify the earlier confusion, Baker Mayfield is actually in his first playoff game in 2020. He beat the Steelers 48-37.
Yeah.
Through 3 TDs, no picks in
Yeah.
that game.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Sorry, Baker.
And then the following week, he lost to the Chiefs, but only by 5, 22-17. It's a close game against the Chiefs. For the record, 4 TDs, 1 interception in 2 games in the playoffs. So, little, not too much of experience, but still some. Granted.
So wait, that means against the Chiefs, he threw 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
Yeah, 1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, cool. So against the real team, that's what happened. All right.
Yeah, right. But he beat Pittsburgh on the road. Pittsburgh on the road. But anyway,
Dredd knows how good that Pittsburgh team was that year.
Yeah. Everybody calls us fraudulent, and the thing is, we go out there and get spanked by Baker Mayfield and the Browns. Yeah. That's a year I'd like to forget that. But yeah, anyway, go on.
This is going to be this is a really, like, what you kind of introduced it, Dread, man. This is like with the worst and the best and the best and the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, Philly's a far cry from the team they were like the first 10 weeks of the season when they were just seeing like a legit lock for number 1. They have arguably the favorite for the Super Bowl, and then just since that beatdown with San Francisco, it's just been a tailspin for this organization. Jalen Hurts, I think he's been dealing with an injury for a good part of the year, I feel like, and it just hasn't been really talked about or addressed. He's obviously gimpy going into this game. AJ Brown's obviously he got injured. He's likely going to play, but again, also probably going to be gimpy. But then again, this Buccaneers team, they looked trash last week. So it's like I'm not sure who to kind of believe. I mean, this Bucs team had looked solid in spots, and it's kind of like on paper, you're like, they still got some good pieces. Baker's solid. He's mid-tier quarterback. Evans is like a legit lock for 1,000 yards every season. And this team's again not too far removed from the pieces they had that won the Super Bowl with Brady a few years back. And again, I think Baker's stats compared to Brady's stats are kind of comparable to Brady's last year. So not too much of a drop, but I'm just not sure if I can take this team even at home against Philly. Even with how bad Philly's looked this last half of the season, I think Philly, I think they just have too many pieces on offense and that defensive line to kind of keep Tampa Bay, sequestered effectively. I like Philly's chances here. Give me Philadelphia to win this game. They played early on in the season. Philly took care of business 25-11, it looks like. I'm going to say it's going to be a little bit closer than that just because Philly's hasn't looked solid. Give me Philadelphia to win this. I'm going to say 24-20.
All right. Flip, who you got? Eagles, Bucks.
Eagles.
They've been looking mighty shaky lately. Yeah,
they have, and it's making me a little iffy here because I don't think the Bucks are too much of a threat, right?
they shouldn't be on paper because, like I said, they're the best of the worst.
I don't even trust them, even if the Eagles have been iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Eagles here. As much as I can see them maybe getting upset in this game because they've been pure ass lately on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith that they're gonna turn it around at least. I mean, you can be terrible for the last 7 weeks, but if you don't show up for playoffs,
oh hell yeah,
it's like, come on, like, this is my last chance. I can't give them any more chances after this.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the end of the Eagles dynasty.
At least for another 5. At least for another 5 years.
Yeah, I don't even think Jalen Hurts can bounce back from this one, especially with Kelsey probably leaving after this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna hold hope. I'm gonna go with the Eagles here, just because this Bucs team it's solid, but something is just telling me to go with the Eagles. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a nail biter. I'm gonna give it to the Eagles though. I'm gonna say Eagles 23-20 over the Bucs.
All right. Well, that'll do it for our predictions, gentlemen. And also, before we go, we went through all the games. What is your upset for the weekend? What is your team to most likely get the upset? And they're the underdog. Like I said, I've already told you guys mine.
Does the Chiefs count as an upset? They count as an upset, then yeah, them.
Yeah, I mean, my upset is the Rams upsetting the Lions.
Yeah, that's mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh pulling it off.
Wow. They're going to win just for that comment.
Hey, man, look, I got to get mine in when I can.
Of course, of course.
It's all love. I actually do like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're one of my favorite teams.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Along with the 85 Bears, because I'm a guy who likes legendary defenses. Like the 76 Steelers, the 85 Bears, the 2000 Eagles, the 2012 Seahawks. I'm a sucker for defenses.
You're not going to mention the Ravens because they're in your division?
Yeah, I said the 2000 Ravens.
I thought you said 2000 Eagles.
Oh, no, the 2000 Ravens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2000 Ravens with the murder defense.
Oh, hell yeah.
You gotta, come on, man.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
And y'all had Rod Woodson, though, man. When y'all had the defense with Rod Woodson and Kevin Green and
Greg Lloyd.
Porter.
Greg Lloyd.
Yo, y'all. Greg Lloyd.
Yeah.
That was my man. Yeah. When y'all had that defense, that was one of my favorite teams ever, man. Y'all was crazy, man. I love that team.
Yeah.
So, I got to give y'all props, man. I like Pittsburgh. I ain't gonna clown on y'all. That's why I bet on y'all this week.
For sure. Any final thoughts before we sign out tonight, fellas?
Yeah, hopefully we end this season up with some exciting football, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm hoping that there are no blowouts. Every game is close. Every game is sweaty. I know you being a Steelers fan and everything, you don't want that to happen, but I want some close and sweaty games. So I'll be praying for the Steelers to pull it out at least. But I just want some entertainment, man, and no refs bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my God, especially no BS from the refs. But yeah, well,
Marvin Harris to drop the fifth.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, that'll do it for the Fourth and Goal podcast. That's the Wildcard Weekend predictions. Flip, Waz, Megaton, y'all guys are the best. I appreciate y'all helping me host the show, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.
Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.